Before you say a single word, people have already decided how much they respect you. Not because of your intelligence, not because of your achievements, but because of something far more subtle, something most people never realize they are communicating. Walk into any room and watch carefully. You will notice that some individuals are instantly taken seriously, even in silence. Conversations slow down around them. People hesitate before interrupting. Others adjust their posture, their tone, their behavior without being asked. And then there are those who speak a lot, explain themselves clearly, try hard to be understood, yet remain overlooked. This difference is not confidence in the traditional sense. It is not dominance, and it is not charisma. It is psychological signaling. The human brain is constantly scanning for cues of stability, authority, and emotional safety. Long before logic engages, the nervous system decides, is this person grounded? Are they secure? Do they need approval, or do they already possess self-assurance? That decision happens in seconds, sometimes in silence, sometimes before you even realize you are being evaluated. Most people believe respect is earned by proving value, by speaking smarter, doing more, or being louder. But in clinical psychology, respect is understood as a response, not a reward. It is the brain's reaction to emotional regulation, boundaries, and internal coherence. This is why trying to win respect often does the opposite. The more you chase it, the more you signal that you don't fully have it. In this talk, we will explore why some people command respect without speaking, without asserting, and without explaining themselves, and how this silent authority is built not through behavior alone, but through the way the nervous system communicates safety, certainty, and self-possession. Because once you understand this, you stop trying to be respected, and that is usually the moment it begins. Emotional control is one of the most powerful, yet least understood, signals of authority. From a psychological standpoint, the human nervous system is constantly observing other nervous systems for signs of stability or threat. When a person remains calm, composed, and emotionally regulated, especially in situations that would normally provoke reaction, the brain of the observer interprets this as strength, not dominance, not aggression, but internal control. A regulated presence communicates that a person is not overwhelmed by external circumstances and therefore does not need to rush, defend, or perform. Emotionally unregulated individuals tend to leak information through micro-expressions, rapid movements, restless posture, excessive facial reactions, or impulsive speech. These signals unconsciously suggest inner chaos, insecurity, or a lack of self-mastery. In contrast, someone who moves slowly, reacts deliberately, and allows pauses to exist projects psychological safety. Others begin to relax around them, and relaxation often turns into respect. Authority emerges not from emotional suppression, but from emotional containment. When emotions are acknowledged internally, yet managed externally, the body communicates confidence without words. The voice lowers, breathing deepens, and gestures become minimal and intentional. People instinctively trust those who appear grounded because the brain associates regulation with competence, leadership, and reliability. This is why calm individuals often gain influence without effort. Their emotional control speaks before they do. Respect is often established through boundaries that are never verbally stated. The human mind is highly sensitive to how another person occupies space, how they move within it, and how comfortable they appear without constant adjustment. Stillness, in particular, carries psychological weight. When someone remains physically composed, without fidgeting, over-gesturing, or shifting unnecessarily, their nervous system communicates certainty. This certainty is interpreted by others as self-respect, and self-respect is one of the strongest precursors to being respected by others. Non-verbal boundaries are also expressed through spatial confidence. People who shrink, lean excessively, or invade space without awareness tend to unconsciously signal either insecurity or a need for control. In contrast, those who maintain a natural distance, stand or sit with grounded posture, and allow silence to exist without discomfort project inner stability. This balance tells the brain of the observer that this individual does not need to dominate or submit. Eye contact plays a subtle but critical role. Calm, unhurried eye contact without staring or avoidance creates psychological equality and presence. It signals that a person is comfortable being seen and does not require validation. When stillness, space, and eye contact align, people instinctively adjust their behavior. They speak more carefully, interrupt less, and show deference, not because they are forced to, but because the boundary has already been silently set. The human brain is wired to seek patterns, and one of the strongest patterns it looks for in people is consistency. Predictability creates a sense of safety, and safety is the foundation of trust. When someone behaves in a stable, emotionally consistent way, the nervous system of others can relax because it no longer has to prepare for sudden shifts, unexpected reactions, or hidden motives. This relaxed state is often misinterpreted as comfort, but psychologically, it is trust forming at a deeper level. Inconsistent behavior, unpredictable moods, fluctuating values, or reactive emotional swings keeps others mentally alert and cautious. Even when such individuals are intelligent or talented, the brain struggles to fully trust them. Over time, this caution erodes respect. In contrast, a person whose responses are measured, whose tone remains steady, and whose behavior aligns with their values becomes psychologically reliable. People know what to expect, and expectation reduces anxiety. Consistency does not mean rigidity or emotional coldness. It means proportional responses and stable principles. When your reactions match the situation rather than your internal turbulence, others perceive maturity and self-mastery. Predictability tells the brain that you are safe to engage with, safe to rely on, and safe to follow. Respect naturally grows from this trust, not because you demand it, but because your presence reduces psychological uncertainty. The shift from approval seeking to self-validation is one of the most profound psychological transformations a person can make. Approval-seeking behavior is rooted in external regulation, where self-worth depends on reactions, praise, or acceptance from others. This dependency quietly communicates insecurity through tone, posture, and behavior. Over-explaining, excessive politeness, constant agreement, and the need to be liked are not signs of kindness. They are signals that one's internal sense of worth is unstable. The human brain detects this instability quickly, and where instability exists, respect struggles to form. Self-validation changes this dynamic entirely. When a person no longer looks outward for confirmation of their value, their nervous system settles. Decisions are made more slowly, speech becomes more intentional, and silence no longer feels threatening. This internal grounding removes submissive cues and replaces them with quiet authority. Others sense that approval is not being negotiated, and as a result, power shifts naturally. Psychologically, people respect those who appear whole without constant reinforcement. Self-validated individuals do not chase attention or agreement, they allow others to have reactions without adjusting themselves. This emotional independence signals confidence and self-trust. Respect grows not because they demand recognition, but because they are no longer seeking permission to exist as they are. Emotional gravity is the invisible force that causes people to orient themselves around you without being consciously aware of it. It emerges when a person is internally grounded, emotionally contained, and comfortable with silence. Unlike attention-seeking energy, emotional gravity does not pull through noise or performance, it draws through depth. The nervous system of others senses this depth and instinctively responds by slowing down, becoming more attentive, and adjusting behavior to match the emotional tone being set. People without emotional gravity often feel the need to fill silence, explain themselves, or assert relevance. This creates movement but not influence. In contrast, when someone is emotionally settled, their pauses carry weight. Silence stops feeling empty and begins to feel intentional. Others project meaning onto it, often assuming thoughtfulness, competence, or authority. This projection strengthens respect because the mind tends to assign value where there is restraint. Emotional gravity also creates leadership without instruction. People mirror the calm, match the pace, and subconsciously defer. This is not manipulation, it is nervous system alignment. When your emotional state is stable and unforced, others regulate themselves in response. Over time, This makes you someone people listen to more closely, interrupt less often, and instinctively take seriously. Not because you demand influence, but because your presence quietly reorganizes the room. Respect is not something you collect from others, it is something you transmit without effort when your inner world is stable. The most powerful shift occurs when you stop trying to manage how you are perceived and start regulating how you exist. When your emotions are contained, your boundaries are clear, your behavior is consistent, and your sense of worth is self-generated, the need to prove yourself disappears. And when the need to prove disappears, authority begins. People do not respect explanations, volume, or performance for long. They respect coherence. They respect those whose presence feels settled, predictable, and self-possessed. Long after words are forgotten, the nervous system remembers how it felt around you. That memory determines whether people trust you, follow you, or dismiss you. The quiet truth is this: the strongest individuals are not the ones who demand space, but the ones who naturally create it. When you embody emotional stability instead of chasing validation, people adjust themselves around you without resistance. Respect stops being something you seek and becomes something that follows you into every room, even when you say nothing at all.